Hi, I'm Chris Bartone. I'm here at the American Marketing Association's annual conference. I'm here with Wolfgang Schaefer and JP Kuhlwein, authors of Rethinking Prestige Branding. Wolfgang, can you tell me a little bit about, you write in the book about going from a what you know or a what you have culture to a what you know culture. Can you speak to me a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think everybody's heard about the idea of the information society, where it's much more knowledge that's driving status than it is money. Money has kind of like reached the limit of separating us, because everybody's gotten richer and richer, at least to a point. You know, there's a growing middle class, and that combined with the fact that luxury brands have come down a lot, have opened themselves up to purchases on lower items like fragrances, etc. They don't. The idea of buying myself status materially doesn't work as well anymore. It's now much more about what I know that I know other people don't know yet. So I can prove myself as an avant-gardist, as someone who's ahead of the curve, who can kind of like show I'm in the know and you're not.
Yeah, it's not so much anymore about what you own and how expensive it is or the precious materials, etc. It's also about what you know or what you know about. And so that we see reflected in a lot of brands, not only in the luxury industry.
And you also write a lot about brand mythology and creating a mythology. What can you tell marketers who are trying to create a mythology around their brand?
Right, so I think everyone's already into telling stories. I think most marketers by now understand that storytelling is a great way to relate with consumers, because we understand things and we embrace things more when we get it told as a story rather than talk to us in terms of functional benefits or sales arguments. Myths are at yet another level. I think Joseph Campbell called it kind of a common dream. Myths get told over the centuries and even the millennials, because they represent common desires that we have. Things, for example, that we can't explain, that science can't explain yet, or desires that we have as humans that might be tough to resist. So brands that are able to elevate their storytelling to mythological levels, if you like, to the myth level, are so much stronger, because we all desire to be part of them.
Yeah, stories normally talk about one person, one instance. A myth talks about million of people and million of instances. So they have a general kind of like guiding power. They help us to understand the world in ways that words and other explanations alone can't. You know, if you just think back to the old mythologies of Greece or of Egypt, or of the Nordic mythologies, or whatever it is, you know, they kind of set up a lighthouse kind of our culture, of our values, of our behaviors, and thus they help us act it out in real life. And that's what brands these days do, you know, arguably. Brands have reached the level that they help us to navigate our culture and our societies by giving us direction, showing how we want to be, how we would like to be seen, and setting values and paths for us.
Right.
And that's why myths are so important.
So these myths could be sociological. Think of Ben and Jerry teaching us how to do business while improving society. Or they could be desires like staying young forever, let's say a La Mer brand that promises that with a miracle broth.
From the sea, the origin of all life, no less, you know.
Yes.
It doesn't get much more mythological and deep than that, you know.
Excellent. Thank you so much. This is Wolfgang Schaefer and JP Kuhlwein. Again, the book is Rethinking Branding Prestige.